In this video, I'd like to talk about how Bitcoin and your business have a very strong correlation. And I think this is whether you're investing in Bitcoin or not, what I'm about to share with you will make a lot of sense. And it's an important message I think you need to pay attention to. All right, guys, what's going on? Yuri Elkaim here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help health professionals get clients and scale their businesses online because that's where the future is. Speaking of the future, you may have heard of this thing called Bitcoin. And for the past number of years, I've never really been into cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. I'm just like, I don't understand it. I'm just going to whatever, leave it. And recently, I don't even know how it came about, but I just started getting intrigued by it. And I think what I'm about to share with you really has nothing to do with Bitcoin in and of itself, but it has everything to do with the success of your business and how you approach it, okay? So I think one of the biggest mistakes that any human can make is delegate their finances or their wealth to an advisor, right? Here's all my money, you go and invest it. Best of luck with that. And I think it's a very naive approach, and a lot of people take that same approach with their business. I don't understand the marketing. You do all of that. See what I'm getting at? So what I'm saying here and what I want you to really understand in this video is that whatever you want to get really good at, you need to understand. Warren Buffett, actually, I don't even know if it's Warren Buffett or he maybe have said this. I think it's just good investing advice is only invest in things that you really understand. So if you think of your business, if you were to invest in a marketing agency or someone to do your marketing, you should only invest when you really understand it. Does that make sense? Don't be naive and expect you to throw money at something you don't understand for someone else to fix in your business that you don't understand. Because that's the same thing as saying, I don't understand how to utilize and grow my money. Let me give it to some fund manager who's going to charge me an arm and a leg and maybe get returns that are decent. Or I could learn how to do it myself and maybe just invest in the index, which over time is going to perform better than any fund manager, which has been shown on average over the past 50 years. So with respect to Bitcoin, it's something I think very much like virtual practice, online coaching, etc., is the future. There's so many, it is built on such a solid foundation. But here's the thing. I didn't know anything about this stuff. I had no clue about Bitcoin. I always thought it was super risky and it's just one of those things. And the reality is there's a lot of other cryptocurrencies that have maybe tainted my approach or my thoughts around Bitcoin. And here's the thing is that until I learned about it, I had a lot of resistance to it. And it's something I say all the time is we typically don't like things or have little tolerance for things that we don't understand. So if you don't like sales, it's because you don't understand sales. If you don't like marketing, it's because you don't understand marketing. And with Bitcoin, I thought to myself, well, if I'm looking to move a certain amount of money into some wealth growth vehicle, well, there's a couple options, right? I can invest in real estate and it could take, for me, I'm just full transparency. I'm not a day trader. I have zero interest in, being plugged into my computer and making day trades in hope of some big gain. For me, it's just I'm going to put my money somewhere and I'm going to let it sit forever. Okay. Because I don't need the liquidity of that. I'm looking to build, longer term things. So for me, it's I could invest in real estate, right? And if I invest in real estate, I might see a doubling of my money in 20 years, right? I could invest in stocks, which I'll typically the index in my world, because I'm not going to invest in individual stocks necessarily. The index, which is going to get about a 10% return on an annual basis. I could look at Bitcoin, which if I invested in Bitcoin a number of years ago when it was $10,000-ish, it would have been a steal, right? Right now, it's as of this recording, it's about 75,000 US dollars or Canadian dollars, whichever one it is. 75 Canadian, I believe. $75,000 Canadian per one Bitcoin. So I'm 5 years ago, if I had invested in Bitcoin, holy cow. But here's the thing is that I'm thinking to myself, well, is Bitcoin just is it a fad? Is it a trend that's just going to go away? And so I started going deeper into this and really understanding the fundamentals behind it. And the reality, guys, is like, I'm not here to give financial advice, but I think it's a major, major vehicle that's going to be a prominent part of our lives. And it's going to disrupt a lot of things financially in the future. I want to learn about that. And for me, it's not like I'm not pouring like 100% of my stuff into Bitcoin, but it's going to be a small piece of my portfolio. But here's the lesson is I'm not doing that blindly. Right? My brother is like, yeah, I lost some money in crypto. I'm like, dude, that's the stupidest statement you can ever make. Why would you lose money in crypto? The only reason you lost money in crypto is number one, maybe you invested in the wrong coin. Maybe it wasn't Bitcoin. I wouldn't really invest in any alternative coins. Number two is you were looking to pull a fast one, right? You're pulling money out. And like with so much volatility, you can't play the day trading game, I don't think, with these types of things. So for me, it's like, well, I'm going to have some Bitcoin now, so that when it reaches $500,000 in valuation per one coin, 5-10 years down the road, I'm going to be happy that I got in at the right time. But also because I believe it's where the future is. Now, it's not just like I believe, it's again, diving into books, podcasts, listening to experts, and really understanding both sides of the equation. Right? What do the institutional investors, the banks, et cetera, think about Bitcoin? What are the people who are heavily in the trenches of Bitcoin who've put like 90+% of their wealth into Bitcoin? What are they saying? And so what I'm sharing with you here is that whatever you want, don't expect miracles to come from things that you don't understand. And so I'm sharing Bitcoin as an analogy for your business. If you want things to be better in your business, you need to take responsibility for learning about them. And it's as simple as that, right? If you are not happy with your investments, you have no one else to blame but yourself, because you have to take responsibility of those investments. If you don't understand what MER stands for, management expense ratio, in a fund, a mutual fund, that's your fault, right? Why would you pay 2.5% MER when another one could be 0.68% MER? And if you don't understand those differences, you should not be forking over all of your money to an advisor who's going to do the stuff for you. Listen, I'm sharing this because I've made some very costly mistakes in my life as it pertains to business decisions, not tremendously on the investment side, but I'm sharing this because most poor decisions are going to come from a lack of information. And I'm not suggesting you get into Bitcoin or anything else, to be honest. Like, I'm just saying, don't do things out of FOMO, right? So I'm not getting into Bitcoin because of like the fear of missing out. I'm getting into Bitcoin because fundamentally, I think it's a very sound vehicle. That's just me, right? Again, not for you. This is just for me. But also with respect to your health practice, your health business, if you look at the fundamentals of brick and mortar versus virtual, let's just look at where the future is going to, let's just look at the fundamentals here. Fundamental number one, right? The biggest difference between the two, brick and mortar is easier to grow. Why? Because you have instantaneous trust when people walk in the door, and you have physical presence, which allows foot traffic to come in. Those are the two factors working in your favor for a brick and mortar practice. That's it. Nothing else has an advantage over being virtual. Now you might say, well, Yuri, people get better treatment coming in person. Okay, maybe if they're getting a massage or a physical manipulation, sure, perhaps, but that's a very short-term benefit. I don't know about you, but I've gone to many massage therapists over the years, and I feel great when I leave the table. The next morning, it's back to where it was before. That's not solving the problem. So it's like a temporary Band-Aid, and I'm not knocking massage therapists here. I'm just saying like the nature of the modality is very short-lived. As I mentioned before, the future, I believe in the future that we're looking to create is transformational, where the patient or the client takes more ownership of their own healing journey. As an example, I can go lay on a massage table to hopefully open up my hamstrings, right? My hamstrings are tight. I'm going to go get a massage. Okay. Or I could learn how to improve their range of motion, their length, etc. on my own. I could do some stretching. I could do some soft tissue work. Is it a little bit more quote unquote work? Yeah. But that's the point. It's like delegating the health of my hamstrings to someone else instead of taking ownership and learning how to do it myself. It's like delegating your finances to a mutual fund person who's going to somehow take care of your wealth for you. It's like delegating the most important piece of your business, which is your messaging and marketing, to someone else before you fully understand and master it. I hope you're understanding this, and I hope you're getting this. If this is making sense, drop me a comment below. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. And if this is getting you thinking, I really hope it does. Because I will tell you this, and I've probably said it before, the most important thing you need to understand and master at every level of detail and nuance until you're at more than $1 million in revenue is marketing/communication. That is it. If you do not understand how to do this, you will pay a premium for the lifetime of your business in the sense of lost business because people don't understand what you do. You're not able to reach them because your messaging just doesn't connect with them. And you're going to find it very, very challenging to see the results you want to see in your business, enrolling clients, making more money, etc., all because the messaging piece hasn't been figured out. So you need to study. You need to obsess about this. You have to learn copywriting. You have to learn all these different things. The skill of communication is the most important skill that you have to develop until you're at $1 million plus in your business. It is the only thing you should be obsessed and focused about. That's it, right? How to deliver results. You already know how to do that for your clients. And if you don't, then that's a different situation. Again, you have to learn these fundamental blocks of your business. There's 5 drivers in your business: lead generation, nurture, sales conversion, delivery, and retention ascension. Okay? And don't worry about retention and ascension if you've got 2 clients. The most important thing you have to learn is lead generation, which is a marketing and messaging thing. The next thing is going to be nurture, which is also a messaging and marketing thing. And then sales conversions, which is going to be how to have conversations with people where they actually give you money to work with you. Those are the 3 most important things. And they all tie under communication/messaging. And it's all you have to learn this. You cannot delegate this. You have to practice this every single day. It is the ticket, it's the vehicle to achieve everything you want in life. And all the other Bitcoin or other investments, none of that stuff makes sense until you have a vehicle like your business that produces money from which you can withdraw funds to then invest in those vehicles. So depending on where you are in your business journey, you have to understand what is the next skill I have to build and develop to make that a reality. So, you'll get to a point in your business where you hopefully have more money than you know to do with, and then you can look at other vehicles to then, allow that money to grow. But until you get there, you have to master the fundamentals of messaging and communication, which in an online business is copywriting and speaking one-to-one or one-to-many. That's it, okay? Anyways, I hope this video finds you well. Let me know what you like most about this in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, remember to subscribe. Tons of other videos to help you grow a thriving online business. Thanks so much, guys. Hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon.